the sound. Ringo TV. Ringo TV. Ringo TV.
Welcome to another edition of Black Male Advice TV. I'm your host, Ringo. Make sure you click the like button, subscribe, and support the content.
About the author, Jemele Hill is a contributing writer at The Atlantic. I had an abortion when I was 26 years old. I was not raped. I wasn't the victim of incest. I was not in the midst of a life-threatening medical emergency. I simply had no desire to give birth to a child.
It's Black Male Advice TV. We are back with another video dealing with the topic titled Jemele Hill, Selfish Choice Prove Roe v. Wade being overturned is justice for mankind. Yeah. Jemele Hill, selfish choice to get rid of her child to pursue a career is a clear example why Roe v. Wade being overturned is justice for mankind. This is sad, but we got to deal with it. She pretty much shared her story online. So what I did is pretty much threw the text into my software to convert it into audio so we could listen to get a grasp of what she had to say regarding her decision. Now, what you're going to discover is that Jemele Hill's choice to delete her unborn child is what modern women have been doing for years. Not for medical reasons, not for incest, not for any sort of abuse, but for selfish reasons, to compete with men in a job market, to chase after careers, money, and wealth. This is a true abomination to mankind. This is why the planet is being judged. Modern women have totally lost their way. It is a wrap. If you brothers are literally trying to wife up a modern woman and expecting her to be family orientated when she's been abusing Roe v. Wade her whole life, this is why they have jobs. This is why they have businesses. This is why they got careers. It's not because they're just competitive. It's because they have totally given up the responsibility of being a mother, of being a wife. And because of this, our children suffer. So without further ado, let's listen to this, find out what's going on, and get our thoughts on what's happening here. So, let's check this out. We're gonna play the tape, we're gonna hear what she gotta say, and we're gonna pretty much pause it where need be and pretty much do what we gotta do. You can always find this article anywhere online by just typing in Jemele Hill, abortion, whatever the situation is, and you'll find the article of what it is. All right, let's get into this thing. Let's go.
About the author, Jemele Hill is a contributing writer at The Atlantic. I had an abortion when I was 26 years old.
When she was 26 years old, she had an abortion. When she was 26 years old, which means she engaged in sexual activity. she made the choice of using her body to practice having sexual relations with a man. She got pregnant. Her body, her choice. But she didn't take the choice of allowing the man to use a condom. She didn't take the choice of using any sort of contraceptives. She didn't make the choice of just not having sex. She made the choice to have a baby. And when she was pregnant by age 26, she decided to abort her baby. Why? Let her explain.
I was not raped. I wasn't the victim of incest.
Notice, no sexual abuse, no incest. So we're not talking about somebody who had to go remove a child because of any sort of medical reason or any family-orientated abuse or whatever the case is. No, not that. Let's go.
I was not in the midst of a life-threatening medical emergency.
No medical emergencies at all. This woman was perfectly healthy, perfectly fine. Everything was good to go.
I simply had no desire to give birth.
She simply had no desire to give birth. If that is not a shocker for you, I don't know what else to say. She had no desire to give birth. Let's go.
A child. I've never shared my abortion story publicly until now. I describe this time in my life in detail in my forthcoming memoir, Uphill, which will be released in October. Know that I'm likely to be attacked for being candid about my decision.
Notice she believed that she's going to be attacked for being candid about her decision. No, you're going to be criticized because you're selfish. That's why. It had nothing to do with anybody attacking you. You decided to share your story. Nobody didn't have to know. You wanted to do it because you saw what happened with the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade. And now you think that it's the time for you to come out the closet and pretty much share what you did to your unborn child. You are selfish and self-centered, and you should be ashamed of yourself for what you did to an unborn child.
But I'm choosing to share some of my experience now because, like so many women in this country, I am angry, appalled, and disgusted about the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v.
You are disgusted because of the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade? You should be disgusted in yourself for what you did to your child. That's what you should be disgusted by. Because you didn't have a medical issue. There was no trauma. There was no sort of abuse done to you. There was no incest. There was nothing there that would warrant you going through with that procedure. You simply just didn't want to be a mom. But yet, you took the time to use your body to have sex with a man. You didn't use protection. You could have prevented all of that. But no. You wanted to have your cake and eat it too. And that is what Roe v. Wade afforded modern women. To go out here, be sexually promiscuous, sleeping around, thinking that they could just do whatever they want to do, and all they got to do is go to a clinic and remove a baby. And because of that, you were able to go out there and be successful in the world, not because of your own talent, but because you've been using Roe v. Wade to make that progress. You've been avoiding having a child for a long time, even till now in your 40s, you still don't have a child. Why? Because you are trying to maintain a career over family. I don't even know why in the world you're married.
Wade, the landmark ruling that previously guaranteed federal constitutional protections for abortion rights.
Protection to murder a child. You call that protection? You call that a constitutional right? No, that's murder. Let's just call it what it is. And that's why the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, because they recognize that modern women are abusing the system. You don't have a medical issue. You don't have no family-related abuse. You are literally doing this for convenience so you could go out there and live your best life now. And because of that, we have a mountain of babies that are literally aborted because of you ladies that have abused the system. And this is wrong. And the Most High is going to deal with you for those sins. You're going to be dealt with by the Most High for those sins. Just because you didn't want a baby because it was inconvenient for you, you decided to get rid of the child. But if it was that serious, why were you having unprotected sex? Why is it okay for you to have unprotected sex in society when you could protect yourself, but you didn't use your body, your choice, to protect yourself from that guy? No, you allowed him to raw dog you, and you did that while knowing that you could get pregnant, but yet you wanted to go out there and use Roe v. Wade to erase history so you don't have the responsibility of having a child holding you back from your career. Let's go.
More than ever before, women who want an abortion or have had an abortion need to know that they aren't alone. A large number of women have been in the same position.
Yeah, a large number of women have used Roe v. Wade to their own advantage, and that is why you're out here being independent, talking about you don't need a man and you don't need this and you don't need that, because you're living your best life now and you're avoiding the responsibility that the Most High has given you on being a wife and a mother. And you're going to be judged by the Most High for this.
So much of the conversation about this issue is entirely too fixated on who deserves the right to have an abortion.
You are not God. You don't have the right to give life or take life. It is not your body and it is not your choice. Your body belongs to the Most High Yah. And for you to get rid of a child when you made the choice to go out there and have sex should be punishable by prison time in the penitentiary. It should be prison time for any woman that literally would go out there and have sex, get pregnant, and then try to use Roe v. Wade as a way to get rid of a child should be held accountable and placed in a penitentiary.
But every woman should have a right to an abortion.
No. A right to an abortion for what? For neglect? For not being accountable for your own actions when you're out here having sexual relations with different men and you're not even married? No, you shouldn't have that right. And that's why Roe v. Wade was overturned. Why? Because you ladies were abusing Roe v. Wade for years and they caught on to the number of abortions in society and they said, my goodness, this is too much.
Not just those who are facing grim and horrific circumstances.
You faced no circumstances, but you got rid of your baby.
Women should not have to justify why they want the power over whether and when they give birth.
Listen, power? How about the power to control your own sexual desires? What about the power to keep your legs closed? Why you don't have the power to do that, but you have power to get rid of your baby? What about that? See, this is the problem in the conversation we need to be having in society is that you ladies want to go out here being sexually promiscuous with different men, and when you get pregnant, you want to use so-called Roe v. Wade and Planned Parenthood to get rid of a child. That's unethical, and you should be ashamed. That is not a fundamental right that you have. You do not have the right to give life and take life. If you don't want no baby, you shouldn't be having sex with nobody. And it should be against the law for a woman to literally go out there and have sex, get pregnant, and talk about she want to use Roe v. Wade as a way to get rid of her baby. It should be punishable by 70 years in a state prison.
The government shouldn't force them to have a child any more than it should force them to.
Nobody is forcing you to have sex. You went there with a man, you opened your legs, and you had sex with him. Nobody forced you to do that. You did that on your own recognizances, and you did it because you wanted to do it. And because you did that, you should be held accountable to the baby that you brought in the world. So if you're a woman and you get pregnant by a man, you ought to take care of that child. Nobody's forcing you to have no child. Nobody's forcing you to get pregnant. Nobody's forcing you to give birth. You went out there, you had sex, it's time to be a mom. You gotta have that baby, let's go.
Sterilized. They just need access to safe care.
That's not safe care. That's unethical care. That's ungodly care. You went out there, you had sex, you got pregnant, it's time to be a mom.
When I had my abortion, I was a sports journalist at the Detroit Free Press in Michigan.
So you had your abortion because you had a career. That's why you got rid of your baby. Why? Because you didn't want to be a mom. And this proves what modern women are actually doing. You ladies don't want the responsibility of being a mom because you know if you had to have a child, it would mean that you would depend upon a man. And to live this image of being a boss chick, to have this image of getting the bag, you don't want no child nowhere in your life because you know a child is a hindrance to your so-called success. It's a hindrance to that business you have. It's a hindrance to that career you have. And this is what you did when you was 26.
I was financially able to support the child. I have no doubt that my family would have been present for me. The man I was involved with at the time would have provided support. His family would have been there for us too. However, I didn't see a long-term future with him.
Notice, you didn't see a long-term future with that man that you slept with, but you had some sort of communication with him and you brought forth a child. Now, isn't that ironic that you have all of these thoughts about you not seeing yourself with this guy long-term, but for whatever reason, you made the choice, your body, your choice, to have sex with a man that you didn't even see yourself being with long-term. And yet, you are allowed to go out there and get rid of your child. That is sad, fam.
And given that my mother and father never married, and I knew their tumultuous history very well,
So because your mom and your dad never married, you look at that as a reason why you shouldn't have a child? You're making excuses. You are just plain selfish. Let's go.
I didn't want to bring the child into an unstable relationship.
No, it wasn't no unstable relationship. If you didn't want to bring a child into an unstable relationship, why would you even have sex with a man that you didn't find yourself being with in the first place? You're being hypocritical, and it's sad that you even came out publicly to even talk about this. This is an embarrassment to all of our women, because what this represents is what you sisters have been doing for so many years, so many ages. You've been getting rid of all of your babies so that you could chase careers.
Besides, my career meant everything to me.
Notice, she said her career meant everything to her, but the life of her child didn't.
I was pursuing my dream of being a sports journalist.
So you were pursuing your dream rather than fulfilling the purpose of the Most High Yah. And this is the problem with modern women today. You ladies do not want to be wives. You don't want to be mothers. You just want to be boss chicks living your best life now. And that is a problem. And that is the reason why you're going to be single for the rest of your natural life. It doesn't matter what you do, how you think it, how you say it. You're going to be single for the rest of your natural life. Because of selfishness, because you don't want to walk in the role that the Most High God gave you as a woman. You are supposed to be a helpmate to a man. You are supposed to be a helpmate to a man.
I understood clearly that having a child would have drastically limited the future I saw for myself.
Notice, a child to her was going to be a hindrance to her progress. Think about the talking points that she's using. She saw the child, the unborn child, as a burden and yoke to her progress. Wow.
Parenting would be difficult to fit into my lifestyle.
Notice, parenting will be difficult to fit into her lifestyle. Why? Because it would mess with her career and her job. And she know that if she's literally being a mom, she would lose her career.
Because as a college beat reporter, I was on the road for nearly 8 months.
Notice, you're on the road, which means you can't even be there for your child. But you chose career over family.
Here covering Michigan State football and basketball. The Spartans men's basketball program was turning into a powerhouse and had won the NCAA championship in
You're more concerned with championships and what sports you're dealing with and reporting on this and reporting on that when you literally neglected your own unborn child, man. That is sad.
2000. That
That's
gave
sad.
me the chance to cover a team that was nationally prominent.
So you were more concerned about covering a team that was nationally prominent, and you didn't care about covering your child with the protection it needed. Wow, what a shame.
That experience, I hoped, might get me that much closer to my goal, which at the time was to become a senior writer for Sports Illustrated.
Do you see, brothers and sisters, exactly what modern women are doing in this culture? It's not that, oh, they need Roe v. Wade for any medical purposes or because of some life-threatening illness or because of some sort of abuse situation. No, they're using it to further their careers. So when you really think about it, all of these women that are out here claiming that they're independent, they're boss chicks, they don't need a man, the reason why they're saying that is because they've been using Roe v. Wade all these years. And now that it's been overturned, they are scared because they know with the lifestyle that they're living and the promiscuity, it means one thing: they're gonna get pregnant and the career is gonna end. And now they're gonna be in need of a man to take care of them. And there are no men around right now that would line up to do that. So they're in great fear right now.
I didn't want to sacrifice my body or devote my time to raising a child.
Notice, she didn't want to sacrifice her body to raise a child. That is sad.
I wanted to travel the world. I wanted the freedom to live wherever I wanted.
She wanted to travel the world and have the freedom to do what thou wilt.
to navigate my career without having to factor a child into my plans.
She wanted her career and she didn't want to factor no child into her career because it was going to hinder her growth.
I'm aware that some people will read this and think that I was selfish.
You were selfish. You know you were selfish, and you think that some people is going to think, no, the majority of people reading and understanding your article and the story you shared will know that you are selfish.
Women are judged harshly for pursuing their goals as
No, women are not judged harshly for anything. You're judged harshly because you were selfish, and it's that simple.
ambitiously as men do.
You trying to compare yourself to men because that has always been your goal, to compete with men who actually dominate in society. And this is what modern women are doing today. They want to compete with men. It is, as far as I'm concerned, fam, modern women are trying their best to literally be a man in this culture. They have literally given up their role of motherhood. They have given up their role of being a wife. They have given up their role of raising children. They have given up their role of being a nurturer. They have given up their role on breastfeeding children. They have given up their role. They given it up. Let's go.
Some people will probably call me irresponsible,
Yeah, you are irresponsible.
but mistakes happen.
That was not a mistake. Remember, your body, your choice. You made a choice to sleep with a man, you got pregnant. Then you made a choice to get rid of your baby. And the choice that you made was not a mistake because you said you did it because you wanted your so-called career. You didn't make a mistake. You made a choice. You made a conscious decision to terminate your own pregnancy. You did that, fam. You did it.
Just because an unwanted pregnancy occurs.
Unwanted pregnancy? How about unwanted sexual intercourse? Why wasn't you thinking like that at that time in your life? Why weren't you?
And it doesn't matter if it's within the context of a relationship, a one-night stand, or situationship.
See, you're justifying your own situation in terms of 304ing at age 26. You were out there riding dirty. You were out there living your best life. You were out there living hot girl summer. You were out there doing what you wanted to do, and you got caught slipping and you got pregnant. And because of that, you decided to use Roe v. Wade to get rid of a child so you could pursue your career. Do you understand me? You're justifying the promiscuity of our modern women, and this is sad in this culture, fam. And any of you brothers that are lining up, signing up to try to wife up a modern woman in today's day, you are crazy.
That doesn't mean a woman should be punished by being forced to.
Punished? Nobody's trying to punish you. You are supposed to be a mom. When you get pregnant, you're supposed to have a baby. When you get pregnant, you're supposed to take care of a baby. When you get pregnant, you're supposed to breastfeed your baby. You're supposed to love your child. This is what mothers supposed to do. But you see it as a punishment. Why? Because that's how modern women think. Modern women look at being a wife as some sort of punishment. Modern women look at being a mother as some sort of punishment. Modern women see raising a child as some sort of bondage, some sort of struggle, and they don't want to do it. They would rather have their career so they could buy their house, car, and have a bank account full of money. They don't want the responsibility of being a mom or a wife or a lover of a man. They don't want none of that. They don't want to raise children. They don't want to breastfeed. They don't want to do nothing. And this is why Roe v. Wade was overturned, fam. Let's go. We cooking.
Have a child she doesn't want to raise. For
Wow.
years, I battled a secret guilt about my abortion.
Why would you have secret guilt? Why would you have secret guilt? Why would you have secret guilt if you done what you thought was best?
It wasn't because I wondered whether I had made the right decision. I felt guilty because I never had any regrets and worried that this somehow made me inhumane.
Notice what she said. She said she had never had any regrets about what she did to her unborn child. And she felt that she was inhumane. It is inhumane to do what you did.
It took me some time to realize that I shouldn't have to apologize for wanting control of my body.
Notice, you want control. You want to play God, and that is not going to happen in this life. So if you get pregnant right now, it ain't going to be your body, your choice. You're going to be a mom. And see, this is the problem with modern women. They want to go out there, have sexual relationships, get pregnant, and then have the convenience of getting rid of a child. I could just imagine how many of our children have been aborted by our own women over the course of many years. My goodness, man, the day of judgment is going to be a terrifying day.
Life. Women consider and choose abortion for a variety of reasons, and sometimes
Selfish reasons. The Bible says, "Thou shalt not kill." When you make the choice to get rid of your child because you are chasing career, woe be unto you.
one of those reasons is that childbirth simply isn't something they wish to do.
Why? Why would they not wish to do that? They wish to have sex, right? So let me get this straight. You want the convenience of having sexual relationships, raw dog, but you don't want the responsibility of being a mother.
That's the meaningful thing about choice. You have the right to make a decision based purely on what you think is best for yourself.
Notice that you have the choice to do what you want to do. What if the man want the child? What if the man want the child? I said, what if the man want his child? What if the man got you pregnant and he want his child? You're telling me that it's your body, your choice? Well, it's part his choice too, because he's the one who impregnated you. So if he want the child and you there talking about, well, I want to get rid of the child, that doesn't make any logical sense. Think about it. Let's go.
Although I'm married in my late 40s
You're married in your late 40s,
and still childless,
still childless because you will never have a child. Because your womb is destroyed. You will never have a child. Let's go.
I have never thought that I missed an important window of opportunity.
Notice that. She thought she never missed a good window of opportunity. Wow.
I have not wondered what my life would be like now if I had carried a child.
If you carried a child, you would not be where you are. You would not have no career. You would not have nothing. You would have to depend on a man. I said you would have to depend on a man. I said you would have to depend on a man. I don't know why you're married for if you don't have no kids. It don't make no sense. Let's go.
I did not agonize over the decision. I actually made it with the full support of my then boyfriend.
So you made it with the full support of your then boyfriend, in whom you told us in your article that you didn't even see yourself with long term. Of course he supported you, because he didn't want no child either, because you were a one-night stand. That's why. That's why he supported you.
2 hours after discovering I was pregnant.
Wow.
That was not because I took the decision lightly. I simply knew what was right for me.
No, it was actually wrong for you, because that's why you're childless and you will never have a child in this life.
I understand the moral complexities.
You don't understand the moral nothing. You don't even follow the Most High, and you will stand before the judgment seats for your actions.
The abortion debate and respect the people who would make a decision different from mine. But above all, I would defend their right to choose. I went to an abortion clinic in Southfield, which is a suburb just outside of Detroit. At the clinic, I received a vacuum aspiration, also commonly known as a suction abortion. The entire process took about an hour, from the time I walked into the examination room.
Do you see the sacrifice that women are making with our children? Do you see how they're sacrificing our babies to Molech? Do you see what's really going on, fam? Are you seeing what's happening here? This is what they've been doing for a long time, fam. This is just sad, man. This is sad how our women been used to break the commandments of the Most High. Thou shalt not kill. Our women have been slaughtering the youth for so many generations, man. It is so sad out here, fam. It is sad. It is sad when I tell you that the lake of fire is going to be filled with our women. It is not a game. It is not a game. It is not men out here destroying all of these children, fam. It is not the men doing this, man. Men are not out here taking the lives of all these children. No. Our women are doing this. Let's go.
I had some spotting and mild cramping after the procedure, but I was otherwise fine and
You thought you were fine. You're not fine. You're still struggling from what you've done. Let's go.
a few days. I am relieved and grateful that this service was available to me, but had Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Organization, the Supreme Court's latest abortion ruling, been in place at the time, I would have been absolutely terrified.
You would have been terrified because you would have had to be a mom, and that's something you fear. That's the thing that modern women greatly fear, because modern women don't want to be mothers. Modern women don't want responsibility. Modern women don't want to breastfeed. Modern women don't want to change diapers. Modern women don't want children because they hold their career and their education higher than family. And this is why the majority of you will never be a wife and never have a family for the rest of your natural lives. Let's go.
Michigan is one of 9 states that had anti-abortion laws preceding Roe v. Wade. A 1931 law in the state banned abortion with no exceptions for rape or incest. A court injunction has temporarily barred enforcement of that law. Although Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer has vowed to protect abortion rights and filed a motion with the state Supreme Court that, I hope, will allow her to keep her promise, the state legislature's Republican majority wants to reinstate the archaic 1931 law. Future generations of women will not have the same right to an abortion as I had.
And it's a good thing that they don't have that same right, because we don't need them to be just like you. You will be in that judgment seat for your actions, for leading all of these women astray, and for acting like this is something light, like it didn't mean anything, when it's a very, very serious offense to the Most High Yah. Very, very serious offense. And I could just imagine how many times you've done it too. I'm pretty sure that's not the only time you did it.
That I have fewer rights as a woman today than I did when I had an abortion more than 20 years ago is a pitiful commentary on the direction of this country. When I had my abortion, I was operating from a position of privilege because I had stable employment and no children to care for. The loss of abortion rights will devastate other women and their families. According to the CDC, the abortion rate is higher for Black and Hispanic women than...
Isn't it ironic that it is higher for our women and Hispanic women? You know why? Because they're the ones that is out there being sexually promiscuous with multiple men, and that is a clear indicator of what they're really doing. I'm telling you, fam, it is a dangerous time to be in. Brothers, you have to be mindful of what's going on. Don't get caught out there. It is very serious. Our women are being judged by the Most High right now. Don't get caught in the crossfire.
It is for white women, and most abortion seekers have other children. I wish I could offer more comforting words to girls and women in this moment, especially to those in the 24 or so states where abortion will soon be, or has already been, largely banned. The Supreme Court's Dobbs ruling was regressive and political, and those states that have trigger laws banning abortions should know that these laws will not stop abortions. Women will always try to decide what is best for their bodies.
And as they try to do that, they will perish in the process, because the Most High have his judgment in the land, and any woman that try to seek alternative ways of getting rid of a child will also be gotten rid of by the same measures she give is the same measures that would be given to her too. Whatsoever you sow, you will surely reap.
Whether it's legal or not.
Notice that she said whether it's legal or not. In other words, women are going to go out of their way to go under the table to get rid of children that they don't want, which in turn will affect their own personal health. We're going to see a lot of bodies literally popping up all over the place of different women, and it's going to be all over the news that said woman tried to get rid of her child and unfortunately died on the table somewhere.
The pain so many women are feeling right now is...
Why would a woman be feeling any pain if she's not sexually active with multiple men? See, what Roe v. Wade literally uncovered is the fact that modern women are sleeping around at a tremendously high number. It is so high, it's astounding, because why would women be literally hurt, grieved, and concerned if they're not sexually active at alarming numbers? You do the math yourself, fam. Let's go.
Unshakable. Our status in America, our very freedom, has been irrevocably diminished.
And that's a good thing. Because when you're that irresponsible with freedom, you don't need it. You don't need rights to go out there getting rid of babies. You don't need rights to do any of that stuff. No. Where much is given, much is required. When people have power, abuse is inevitable. And what we have seen with the modern woman is that she have abused Roe v. Wade to her own advantage. Oh yeah.
Yet sharing our abortion stories carries enormous power. No woman needs to think of herself as immoral because she had an abortion or
Notice that. She said no woman should think of themselves as immoral for having an abortion. That is laughable.
wants an abortion. What's immoral is telling women that they don't deserve bodily autonomy.
Really? I want you to tell that to the Most High Yah. I want you to stand before life itself and tell him that what you did is moral. We'll see how fast you end up in the lake of fire. Wow. This is crazy, fam. That's all I got for you today. Jemele Hill, fam. Her story is a clear indicator of what modern women have been doing in society, competing with men for careers, education, and so forth. This is why they're able to go to college and focus on all of this other stuff, because most of them have gotten pregnant, got rid of the baby so they could go do this, gotten pregnant again, got another abortion so they could go seek that job, to seek that career. This is why you see news anchors, this woman, that woman, they all in all these different fields, working in all these different places. It's not because they're talented, it's not because they worked hard, it's because they've been using Roe v. Wade all this time. And secretly under the table, they've been getting abortions, they've been getting rid of children. Every time they would go out there, be sexually active, they would get pregnant, get rid of the baby, get rid of the baby, get rid of the baby. They gotten so many, listen, they have gotten rid of so many babies, fam. It is sad. This land is truly cursed, fam. It's sad out here. It is sad. We need to bring up our younger women and teach them the ropes to don't ever be like these women today. Don't ever be like these women today, young ladies. These women today are going to be judged by the Most High. Don't fall in that judgment. Don't do it. That being said, fam, we're going to sign out. It's Black Male Advice TV. Gonna get up on out of here. Putting in work. Doing what we gotta do. It is what it is. Black Male Advice TV. Ringo TV Raw. Make sure you hit the Cash App, $ Ringo TV Raw. That's right. Bringing you the best content on YouTube, hands down. Subscribe today. Click the notification bell right now. Don't waste no time. Subscribe to the channel today. Click that subscribe button today. Get the likes up on the video and support your interests. Black Male Advice TV. Now catch you in the next video. I'm out, fam. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $ Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Black Male Advice TV, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.